This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Good morning, sir. How are you
What's
doing
up?
from my backyard? How you doing?
Yeah, why are you not here? How close are you?
Next owners meetings, no matter where it's at, we will be there. It's just one of those things. We're establishing the podcast, and so we've been at it for 8 months, and so I've just been kind of building the content and the sponsors. It's a progress. You know what I mean? So,
okay,
but now the budgets are building up where we're going to be able to travel, and we're going to the draft. We're going to the NBA Summer League, all that kind of stuff in Vegas. Notice how a lot of the trips are in Vegas. You know,
I did notice that. Hey, I respect it. I respect it.
Of course, you got to respect the game. You know, so next owners meetings, we'll be there to bug you, and you can sit down right next to us and all of that stuff. So yeah. All the stuff all the stuff that you used to see me at, but I was paying my own way to go to at QAM. Okay, now I can actually do it this way. Okay, so
that is awesome. What a good place to be, my man. I appreciate it.
Yes, it is. We are blessed to be able to be in this position, my friend. Hey, by the way, I thought TB12 was coming. I thought we were supposed to have Tom. What happened? Bro? What happened?
Yeah, that was an interesting rumor, and I talked to a lot of Dolphins people about it. I talked to Bucks people about it. Everyone kind of shrugs and laughs. Like, it was never Tom Brady playing for the Miami Dolphins was never a possibility. And I'm trying to understand like how that got to be an actual thing. It's just hard to fathom. Like, and some rumors are good. Like, there was always rumors about Devontae Adams joining the Raiders, and then he did, and you're like, okay, that actually makes sense. There were rumors.
Right.
But then this one, it was like he literally said, I'm coming back to play in Tampa. He recruited free agents like Ryan Jensen and Russell Gage to the Tampa Bay Bucks. And then all of a sudden he's going to go play for the Dolphins. Like, get out of here. Plus, I think if you're the Dolphins, like, it's probably annoying because all you want to do is show the world, like, Tua is our guy. We're going to build around him this year, and then we'll see what happens. And this Brady stuff at least muddies the water a little bit.
Yeah, and one of the things that I love about what Mike McDaniel has done is the awareness of understanding that unlike the last 2 years, that all you did was create controversy and doubt. I'm a big crypto guy, so I always deal with FUD, and I tell people fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And that's all that was hovering over Tua now. And Mike McDaniel has done an exceptional job of eliminating that FUD and saying, hey, put that aside already. We're moving on, and Tua's the guy. And he even did it yesterday with the whole Bridgewater thing.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
And like, Bridgewater, I get it. Like, he did not want to come out and say, I'm the backup, I'm sure. But, Mike McDaniel, I think basically, and I actually had this conversation with him yesterday, like, he takes great pride in being like, you know what? This nonsense that other people are dealing with, I am just not going to deal with. I'm going to take it, I'm going to push it to the side, and I'm going to move on to other things that are actually real. And I think that's one nice thing he did with the Bridgewater stuff was he was like, yeah, this is fake. Here's what's going on. Move on to the next. Let's go. And I appreciate the way he kind of interacts and deals.
All right. So, my brother, we're hearing, let's bounce around a little bit around the NFL. We're hearing there's no interest in Garoppolo pretty much. And obviously they've got to try to get the youngster in there to try to find out why. That's why they traded for him. What's going to happen in San Francisco? Will it be a rotation? Will it be that Garoppolo be the backup guy? What's going to happen in San Francisco? Or are they for an injury then around the league?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's definitely no rush. They have a $25 million non-guaranteed contract for Jimmy Garoppolo. So if they actually hold all the cards, they could theoretically make him come to camp, ask him to take a pay cut, and then he would know, like, I probably make more with the 49ers than I would any other place, and like how important is that to him? Because that would be a question. Also, you'd like Trey Lance to come in to be the starter, but you don't really know, right? I mean, you don't. Like, you hope and think, but like you don't know. And what if Jimmy Garoppolo is the best quarterback that you have? don't you owe it to your team to have him start? And I think that's one thing where, the 49ers are wrestling with all this because it's like, yes, we'd love Trey Lance to play, but if Garoppolo is here and he's better, then we have to play him. And also, like, it's not a crime to have a quarterback wait 2 years anyway. That might actually be best for him. So they got a lot of options. I'm not sure any of them are bad, but I am sure none of them are imminent.
All right. So on one guy that you have to now start to find out about. So what happens in Green Bay? Because you're never going to find out about Jordan Love. And I get it, dude. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. You got to keep that guy if you can, because he's like watching a video game play quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not good. Well, so the Jordan Love era never will get started in Green Bay. Or did they see enough behind the scenes that they said, well, there's not much here. So what's going on with that kid?
No, I think it's more like the Jimmy Garoppolo situation in New England, the original Jimmy Garoppolo situation where you have someone drafted pretty highly, you like him, you like the skill set, you think he'd be great, but the guy in front of him just never stops being awesome. And I think for Garoppolo, that's why they ended up trading him to the 49ers, was because they were like, we're never going to use this guy because Tom Brady will never stop being Tom Brady. And I think if you're the Packers and your worst case scenario is quote unquote wasting a first round pick on Jordan Love because Aaron Rodgers is so good, like, that's okay. That is a really okay situation. The other thing is, I don't think anybody wants to hear this, but like, you spend a roster spot on someone and he is on the 46-man roster. He is active on game day. He has been a backup for 4 years, which is a valuable spot. It's not what you wanted, but it's not nothing either.
Yeah, it's just, wow, man, to make that investment and then you're never going to really see if it can actually pay off is kind of crazy. All right, so what happens with the overtime rule? What are you hearing? Because I obviously at 55, I'm a traditionalist, but I really kind of like the idea of both teams getting the ball at least one time. Because, man, I forgot who it was that made the point. All the rules favor the offense. So it's kind of, I get
I
it.
think that's true. And like, but I don't know if there's as much momentum to pass as maybe people thought coming in. Like, it's definitely been a spirited discussion. I think they'll continue to discuss it. We'll see today if they end up passing or not, or they may end up tabling it to the May meeting. Like, that could happen too. It's really, complicated because, I like defense and you'd like to say, well, just stop the guy, but then you also don't want to get to a situation where you're in a playoff game, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL doesn't step on the field. So the discussion will be interesting and sort of animated, but all it takes is 8 owners to decide, or 9 owners to decide. Remember, it's owners voting, not coaches. All it takes is 9
Or
owners to decide.
undecide. They
Right.
just,
Right.
yeah.
I'm just not totally into it. And so if it's not going to pass, I think we'll see it tabled until May. Probably deal with it then.
Okay. Hey, the Broncos sale, what's the latest there? And I know that there was some, there's motivation to try to get a minority owner involved in all of this. So what's the progress there?
I think the hope is to have an owner by the start of the season. That would be that's something that's doable. I know they have significant interest. It's going to be something probably in the fours, so $4 billion we're talking. And yes, there is a push to have a minority owner, a diverse owner. I don't know if it's going to happen, and this is a process because of the trust. The way it's set up, they have to take the highest bid. So you can't say, well, we want an owner who is diverse. It has to be, we have to take the highest bid. So I don't know if diverse ownership is going to happen this time, but I do know it's on the horizon for the NFL.
What now, let me ask you something. Just flat out highest bid or best, like if one
Highest
bid's
bid.
just, well, yeah, but what about if the one that's a little bit less is actually better foundation, better owners,
Well,
and they
then
feel long term, that kind of stuff? Could that decision be made?
I think the vetting will probably happen during, so that if you get to that point where you're going to make an offer and be
Gotcha.
considered as a realistic potential owner, you're going to be someone who's going to pass through all the different obstacles and everything else kind of the NFL puts up as far as vetting goes.
Ian Rapoport joining us with our Slomin's look around the NFL. Ian, do we know who are the new coaches that may be joining Flo's lawsuit?
We do not. I actually wondered if we might find out today during the owners' meeting. Sometimes news happens during this meeting. We have not found out yet. I'm going to be really curious to see. And as far as the lawsuit goes, like that would be really significant. If two coaches, I mean, look, if it's coaches who are currently employed by the NFL, that would make it even more newsworthy, noteworthy, all that stuff. We'll see who it ends up being. I have some thoughts and ideas, but until it's, firm and announced and official, I'll probably stay where kind of wait and see like everyone else. But
is Hugh Jackson one of your guesses, by the way?
it's not actually.
No. Okay.
No, because I mean, look, he might be. I don't know, but
that's the first name that came to mind for me because
he
kind of snapped at the beginning, remember, and then he backtracked like a DB quickly after. But yeah,
but it was such a mess that I don't know if him joining the lawsuit would lend any credibility, honestly.
Right. All right. One more thing before I let you go: are the Dolphins done? Are you hearing anything? Because the Dolphins,
I'm not hearing
nothing because they want to hear J.C. Tretter's name. Actually,
I mean, what more do they want? I mean, honestly,
they want to sign every player that's available. So I just got I didn't even think the Tyreek Hill thing was, when he was on the trade block, I'm like, oh come on, I know you all are going to ask me for him, and then minutes later you're reporting and everybody else about that he's about to be, Jets or Dolphins, and so you never know.
Yeah,
so
I think it was always the Dolphins right there, and if I remember. I was dealing with that as I was in the car back, and we were talking about it. I feel like we talked about it in the show. Anyway, I think at that point we knew it was Dolphins or bust, and it ended up being the Dolphins.
All right, so you think the Dolphins are kind of done on the free agent side for any big name?
I don't know. Is Tretter a big name? I mean, we'll see. A lot of those veterans
for us it would be.
A lot of those veterans get signed a little bit later, closer to the draft. But we'll keep our ears to the ground, see what we can come up with.
Does it look like Devontae Parker's going to Philadelphia? Because Barry Jackson wrote that down here that Philly's really interested in Devontae Parker.
I have not heard that team associated with Devontae Parker.
Which one have you heard, by the way?
I think there's a couple interested teams. I do believe he'll get traded. I think they'll get, late round value, dump his salary, and kind of move on.
All right, Ian, as always, I appreciate you, my brother. Enjoy the fun and the sun here in South Florida, my man. Right. We will catch up next week.
All right, look forward to it, man. Take care.
Thank you. There you go. Ian Rapoport, baby. And our Slomin's look around the NFL. Give me 30 seconds. I got to get the AC on.